So just, yeah, we are live on YouTube. Just hold on a second. So that I can paste the URL on Facebook. Yes, Bala. Good morning. Good morning. Vanakkam. How are you, sir?
Yeah, today my Vanakkam can be slightly more resounding after a CSK.
Yeah, I can feel that.
It's a typical CSK win. It's a kind of taste that we were quite used to, winning from almost losing position. That's the kind of legacy that CSK had built it for itself over several years, and somehow they lost it in this edition. But though it is pretty late in the tournament, it was kind of comforting. I kind of savored this win more than anything else because we had nothing to, we had no great expectations going into this match. And so this win was, though pretty regular in the sense, but it tasted much more sweet, at least for me as a CSK fan.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. At least, see, like they say, when the going gets tough, whatever comes your way, it's good, I think. So to me, and one more thing I'm happy with, Dhoni had said he didn't see a spark. So for me, the big thing is you need to light something to see a spark. No, I think he lit that. He finally lit that.
If that is kind of a psychological ploy that Dhoni had come up with, hats off to him. But I suspect that was not the case with Dhoni. But anyway, we'll believe that. To be charitable to him.
With Talai, we can believe anything, no problem. Yeah. Whether it is right or wrong doesn't matter. Cricketing logic, many times what he does defies cricketing logic. So long as it comes off, it's fine. When it doesn't come off, he gets angry.
Yeah.
Which is okay.
Yeah. Basically, a spark is what you have to hit it out of the park.
Yeah, that's all.
That's all.
So, I think Virendra Sehwag was saying he now he should be called Spark Raj Gaikwad.
Spark Raj, yeah, that's right. See, but Raj, when CSK Lions play for the pride, that would be interesting.
Yeah.
Play for pride.
Yeah. So the only thing is that, so I don't know how many of us got the pun, but then go and figure it out.
Yeah. See, it's a pretty easy one, man. Everybody will get it.
I know. I'm not too sure, but then anyways, so the match itself was, I think, like you said, the match itself was of very little consequence. The only consequence I see is it's opened up.
Consequence from the point of view of CSK, right?
Yes. So we are talking CSK, no? We are not talking anything else. So when CSK plays, you are there, we talk about CSK only. It's like when Edward is there and RCB is playing, we only talk RCB. We don't. Other team is irrelevant. Who cares? So anyway, it is just
Because KKR has more chameleons than CSK, by the way.
Yeah. So, and this is the game of the game of this IPL, right? All the Kannadigas are playing somewhere else.
Distant Punjab.
So I'm pretty sure at least some of these guys would open up Punjabi restaurants in Bangalore once they decide to hang up their boots. We are digressing. We'll come back to the. So So what I was saying was that, like I said, it is. It opened up the table further. So you have a situation now where quite a few fellows can land up on 14, including RCB, which is the sad part. They need to win their matches. Otherwise they also end up at 14, and then there will be a mad rush that is the worst case scenario that can happen. Although hopefully, I hope at least one more guy goes to 16. That will sort of ease things out. RCB is the good chance. RCB or DC also, for that matter, can go to 16. So we'll wait for that to happen. Otherwise, it opened up the field. Now CSK is out. RR still mathematical chance. SRH might be smiling because of yesterday's thing, and definitely KXIP will be doing Bhangra there somewhere.
Yeah. See, their fate is now very much in their hands.
Yes.
They have to win the last match.
Yeah.
So it's pretty simple. Their equation is pretty simple.
Yes.
But purely from a personal point of view, since CSK is out of the tournament, I was rooting for KXIP. Now KXIP is going to face off CSK. Yeah. I'll be. I don't know whom to support. I'll stick my neck out and just support Punjab.
So
Just for
yesterday,
the
yesterday night I had another message after your messages where Edward sent me a message saying I never thought I would be supporting CSK in my life, rooting for CSK. So Edward, this is for you.
Exactly.
Watching, yeah. So for me, the entire the story of the thing was a little bit of a what do you call, hot and cold, like Chennai has been. I mean, I would have loved it if Ruturaj had closed it out. I mean, which he looked like doing. I think we need to talk about that individual brilliance now.
Brilliance.
This guy seems to be. I think somebody yesterday pointed out in commentary also. I mean, there is a bit of a Rahane about it, the way he bats. So this guy seems to be brilliant here. I mean, he just doesn't lose shape. He
The
hits
straight lines, he
cricketing
plays in
shots.
linear shots.
Cricketing
That
shots.
that is why, I mean, I also told you, because the way he got out was what was disappointing for me, because he was getting all those straight shots. Why was he trying something which
which is why I
trying
said,
to get, yeah.
Which is why I said cutesy Raj Gaikwad.
Yeah, exactly.
So
That's what my problem was. Exactly.
Yeah, I think it was also that probably stemmed from another reason which I want to bring up, which is like the Jadeja, my favorite reason. So we cannot go discuss CSK without talking Jadeja. Now, why in the deuce, now that you have lost now, and Jadeja, see, if you look at it from a futuristic perspective, who are the players whom CSK would like to retain when the time comes? Jadeja is definitely one. So I would actually think of making him the complete all-rounder that he is. He is one, we all know that. But then he blows hot and cold, and he's like one of those characters, right? He probably
his bowling has not been coming through this season.
I mean, that is because we are in the Middle East.
But when somebody like Akshar Patel can make those adjustments, why can't Jadeja? That is the question.
Yeah, which is true. Jadeja, the only difference I see is that Akshar is probably much taller. So there is that advantage of height is there, but then we are not going there. Let it be there. So I would actually sort of prepare Jadeja to be, if not my successor as captain, I would definitely look at him to be the gun player for CSK.
One of the linchpins.
Yes,
exactly.
Yes. So in that point, I would have actually sent him up above Sam Curran, who has done whatever he has been asked to do. No need, right? And if Jadeja had been ahead, I don't think the Gaikwad would have been a cutesy, because Sam Curran was stuck for a long time.
One of those days where his shots were not coming.
It just didn't happen.
But Dhoni in this form coming ahead of Jadeja doesn't make sense at all. Forget about other things.
Yeah, that is the other thing. So I would definitely have gone with.
I can understand Sam Curran because he's at least in form. But why Dhoni in this form?
Yeah. So, I mean, like I said, no, I mean, when you have a guy, look at the strike rates. See, you have that comparison that comes, right? The guys with the top strike rates. All the other guys are gun guys. And then suddenly you have Jadeja, who is from a losing team. He still has that strike rate.
Yeah. You have Nicholas Puran, De Villiers.
Yeah.
Who else was the Rahul? Who else? Not Rahul. Somebody else. Kyron Pollard.
You're right. So that is where I have a problem. So,
Hardik Pandya has walked in. So four players I had.
Yeah. So I mean, I would definitely say, I think one led to the other. But then since you win, it's fine. And by the way, if in my mind at least, if Jaddu had actually gone ahead of Dhoni and all, I think it would have sort of probably not reached the last ball. So you wouldn't have given us the jitters.
But CSK likes to take it.
And they love jitters, no?
They like it to take it to the end. I mean, they are taking it to the end of the tournament, man. When everything is lost, they're taking it to the end of the tournament.
This was quite literally taking it deep.
But we didn't have this in mind. But we need to talk about KKR.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, I think we should, because I mean, this tends to be a CSK story.
I mean, we are talking about.
You had a couple of points, right? You started.
I have a huge issue with KKR's captaincy all through the season, and it was pretty much evident. Two things: one simple with the batting, one simple mistake with the bowling. Forget about Ferguson's over or anything. Rinku Singh ahead of Morgan, because Rinku Singh has not played in any of the matches in this IPL, and he has not had any great show in the previous IPL also to merit such a. To have been sent ahead of Morgan. So that was one error. And to bowl Nitish Rana, because that is the one over which gave the momentum to CSK. 3-4s.
So, I mean, Bala, I cross my heart and tell you this. When Rana came to bowl, I was just going to say on our group,
Okay.
Looks like somebody in KKR is watching our show. Because you remember Nitish Rana versus Gale, what could have been a battle?
Better. Yeah.
He's not spinning the ball.
Exactly. You
Yeah,
that.
we had mentioned that. Yeah. Now Nitish Rana coming to bowl doesn't make sense. Plus, for me, Rinku Singh himself didn't make sense in yesterday's match because see who wins you matches. See you automatically went defensive by taking another batsman instead of taking a bowler. I don't know whether you had bowlers in the hutch, but the point is, if it is there, I think you should have preferred a bowler. See, you wanted somebody to sort of clear the field in the five. I mean, maybe score 20 runs or 30 runs or 5 balls or 6 balls. I mean, you had not Anderson Cummins again. Pat Cummins with you, right? Or you had Nagarkoti, who's also considered to be a clean hitter, a striker of the ball.
Yeah, he can hit the long hand.
Job. Yeah, somebody could have done the job. So for me, that defensive mindset is what I don't understand. Which is why earlier I had brought this up. To me, the biggest elephant in that room is actually McCullum. I really don't get what McCullum is trying to do, unless he is basically testing the water.
Because Morgan not coming ahead it is not right. Because as a captain, you should step in, man. This is the time.
Not just that. And do you think Morgan on his own would have done that if he was captaining England in a T20? I don't think so. I don't think so, because he's the guy who, he's itching to go at number 3.
Yeah,
or even opened. He has opened also in IPL, if I'm not mistaken. Some time back for which team I don't remember. He has been all around the place. I don't see that happening. So I feel this KKR has been done in by its back room.
Exactly, because Karthik, they for once got him at the right time. See, 17th over Karthik is the best Karthik.
Yeah. So his middle name could be 17. Karthik 17.
17
Karthik. Yeah.
So yesterday too, he gave that momentum, final kick in the right time. So without him, without the 170 plus score would not have happened.
Very true.
So, but Rinku Singh, it's also unfair. You bled a person right in a very needle match. So it also doesn't do much to his own confidence.
Yeah.
Slightly inconsequential match if you had played him and get him ready, because he has not had one match before that. And I don't remember any one innings of his from the previous editions also.
See, one thing is that, this is not blooding a youngster. This is actually bloodying a youngster.
Brilliantly put.
Yeah. So to me, you are leaving the guy battered. You don't do something like that. See, now to get that out of his psyche would be different, because somewhere he was sent with a purpose which didn't come true.
Come off.
And then the other thing also is, one of the things that I realized, I'll tell you, this is a very fun fact that I found out when today I didn't bring any stats. I love stats just so that I can counter it, not because I agree with it. I just this is that vicarious pleasure you get when you didn't like your mathematics teacher in school. Whatever, and amma enna sonnalum adha counter pannum.
Unfortunately, I had only male teachers.
Yeah, so I had one lady teacher. Our mutual disrespect was very high. It was very well documented by everybody in my classmate.
Oh, great.
Classes, right? Class. Both of us used to like each other, adore each other, for obviously the wrong reasons. Anyway, so the stat is, both teams played 34 dot balls.
That is interesting. That is too much for
a quirk. Yeah, it is a quirk of fate, because the team batting first is always the one which pays for paying dot balls. Correct? In a format like this, you batting second, you can still make up. You know that there is a Jaddu, you can take it deep. Now, these guys didn't have a choice. So to play that many dot balls, to me, was, I think, a crime. And then a substantial part of those 34 came before the 10th over, and in the power play, actually.
In fact, in that sense, Nitish Rana took his time to get off.
He got to, power play score looked par, largely because of those 2-3 shots he hit in the end. Now that is
in the last, the fifth,
6th over,
overs.
5 point something overs. That is when that changed. Otherwise, this is all of these things. Are they Brendan McCullum? I don't know. I'm not able to figure that thing out. That is where what is a concern, because most of the times you understand what is happening, right? You can figure out, okay, this is what they're thinking. Here, the thinking seems to be so cluttered that this is like that exercise. Go through the maze.
Exactly.
So now I'll go from the other end and find it quickly.
Yeah.
We all do that.
Exactly.
So So here that is failing, man. We're getting stuck because we really don't know what was
But
the
I'll
thought.
ask you another question towards the end.
Yeah.
Would you, this is just purely with the help of hindsight. Would you have bowled Ferguson the 20th over and Nagarkoti in the 19th over? Just a thought.
See, I mean the last the see that logic there, at least I can see the logic.
Yeah,
That if
I'm not being critical. I'm just asking you a question. And just hypothetically speaking.
Yeah, I would have actually I think the mistake for me was not at that end, but it was the Nitish Rana end which you brought out, which is why I'm not going back there. I think there was no reason. See, there also what happened, that was done as an afterthought because you bowled Varun Chakravarti and Sunil Narayan early on, right? So you thought that, what did you think? I'm assuming the thought that time was, okay, the one wicket has gone, so let me get this one extra over, cushion of one extra over. The problem was you bowled him against the best player of spin in the other team, which was Rayudu. So somewhere I think, I think maybe DK was also lost. Somewhere I don't think communication happened.
Yeah, but DK in the previous match against CSK used them pretty late, the spinners.
Exactly. That is the point. That is exactly the point. So
because it was almost a similar match, right? 167 or something.
See, you first of all you took you brought an extra bowler, which means that you trust your 5 bowlers. Then you sort of did a slight jig there. Suddenly you found that the 2 spinners don't have enough for the latter stage. So you tried to sneak in a 3rd spinner, and that he gave away 16 runs for next to nothing. That 16 is what turned the tide actually. The momentum turned there.
3-4. Suddenly, CSK was back in the match.
Of course, you can always say there was a snowball slipped out of the hand. See. I'm again, for me, which is why these games are so beautiful, because it is a strategy that you look at. When it's a team game, there is a lot of strategy involved. I mean, when you are watching tennis, it's fine. There is just one guy against the other guy. Yeah, you watch football, you watch cricket. The beauty is that it's an interplay between multiple people, right? And how the
team battle of wits is even more interesting than on a one-on-one case.
Yes, so that is what sort of excites me, and that is where I see. Forget about the victory defeat.
Yeah. Even with this big, because we talk of Rituraj Gaikwad's batting, we talk of Jadeja. The one was that Cummins bowled is as beautiful as anything that we have seen.
Yeah. Cummins bowled very well.
Beautiful. That last, 17th over, I guess, 18th over. 17th, 18th over.
17th or 18th, one of these.
18th. Because 19th was Ferguson, 20th was this guy's. Nagarkoti.
And by the way, even he bowled well. Nagarkoti, see, on another day, on another day, Jadeja could have given a catch. The ball could have, slower ball, whatever. It could have gone on a catch. So I'm not really worried about that part. Because
just that last, he held his nerves for 4 deliveries in that.
I agree.
Beautifully.
That's what I'm saying now. On another day, he might have held his nerve. The bowler would hold his nerve bigger. You never know. So that is a one-on-one challenge, right? So it boils down to 2 individuals now. It's not nothing to do with the team now, right? It's just 2 guys facing off.
Just a few inches in length in last 2 deliveries. Done.
That's all there is. So I really don't see that as this thing. For me, I think I think you brought it out perfectly. We can add amongst the inexplicables, we can add these 2 also. I don't think it makes any sense to do either of these things. First of all, bringing an extra batsman, which basically means that you are expecting the team to be 20-for-3 or 30-for-3 in the power play. So if you are playing for 30-for-3 in the power play, what is your mindset?
Absolutely defensive.
And is that Baz McCullum actually? No. I don't think so. Yeah. So where is this coming from? Don't tell me Shah Rukh Khan is giving direction sitting in Mannat. I'm sure he isn't. So we'll leave it there.
This is far worse. But anyway, they are certainly missing the presence of Bray Russell, which is unfortunately injured everything.
I think he never arrived in this IPL.
Injured,
to be honest, he never arrived in this IPL. He bowled some good incisive spells.
No, that CSK match, he was one of the. His presence was crucial towards the 18th over or something.
Yeah, which is fair enough. So, like I said, when he has really not arrived. He has got. See, last time there was a ruckus about him wanting to bat up and all, but this time he batted up. He came as early as 3 or 4, right? But then still, it is not. It happens in cricket. So for me, I think for yesterday, the takeaway from the match was just Pat Cummins is still a good bowler. Forget about the fact that he's not getting wickets or anything. He's amongst the best in the world. 2, Ruturaj Gaikwad is one for the future. I mean, he's just too good to watch. I just loved watching him. Each and every stroke was like perfectly
was
timed.
very,
And you
very
had this, you had this where he sort of stepped out, and he actually stepped out and stepped back and drove Cummins through bloody
He
between extra
swept
cover
him,
and
man. He swept him.
I was taken aback. I said, wow, where
There was one
was this
English
guy?
opener who
Yeah.
did it. He was throwing a Malloy.
Yeah.
Loye. He used to do. I mean, he did it in. Not used to. He did it in one small series against Australia. He swept Brett Lee. That's pretty popular on YouTube. And that was sort of a desperation. That was a desperate show. But this was casual, elegant, easy.
Yeah. And I mean, not once did he lose shape. So those are
Exactly.
the things you watch for in a batsman.
Exactly.
He never lost shape. So for me, that was there. And Jaddu,
exactly.
Jaddu as a I mean he is capable. His batting needs to be looked at very carefully. I think Indian team India, Shastri and Kohli have done something to him, because we have seen him come and bat well in ODIs and all.
So yeah, he was one of the best players in the New Zealand semi-finals against New Zealand in the World Cup. So he kept us in the hunt till the end.
Correct. So the point is that I think that needs to be taken up now. I mean, he needs to be even a little more.
And one sad image and important image for me was Dhoni getting bowled to Varun Chakravarti. That was a bit like the previous match where Dale Steyn was getting your legends, your greats.
Yeah,
when their time is up, you can see it. He was getting bowled to Varun Chakravarti for the second time in the tournament.
Yeah.
And there was a certain, there was a certain amount of inevitability to that last night.
Yeah, his face said it also.
He said it.
Yeah.
And
so even
it was also dramatic because the stump almost went off with certain snap.
Yeah.
So it was sad, but it was inevitable.
Yeah. So I mean, like they say, no, legends have to walk away into the sunset. So even with Shane Watson, Shane Watson, I felt that. I felt that yesterday there were glimpses. He hit one brilliant pull shot. That was brilliant. I mean, and that's the sound of it made you feel, wow, man, this went. So, but then, then after that, nothing much. Nothing much. I mean, and the end was almost inevitable. Again, like you said, it was almost inevitable. So to get Shane Watson out, the ideal scenario is get the spinner on.
Yeah.
So he's not able to move forward.
When you look at the batting, this was one of the few occasions where they won because of the Indian contribution, not because of the foreign contribution. Sam Curran had a very average batting outing. Shane Watson didn't have anything to do in terms of batting. So it was left to the Indian.
So think about it. Apart from the early times when you had the likes of Mike Hussey and Matthew Hayden, CSK has always relied on the Indian. Right?
Their wins have come through Hussey, Hayden in terms of bowling, Bollinger. So the foreign part is pretty crucial to CSK's success. I've never played that down. Of course, your Chinnathala and Periyathala were always there, but because that tends to be talked of in Indian situations. But foreign contribution has been pretty crucial for CSK's such a successful run all through these years.
Yeah. Anyways, I think so. Today's match we have KXIP playing Rajasthan Royals. So
KXIP has to win.
Yeah. I mean, KXIP probably has it has bigger stakes. I'll put it that way.
Exactly. That is better way of putting it.
Yeah. RR
has to also win.
Yeah, both of them have to win. Yeah, KXIP has the stakes are probably higher for KXIP because they have won 5 matches on the trot, and the 6th would definitely take them into the next stage, which sort of, it doesn't secure you, but it definitely puts you at a better, place. So they are at 12 points. They have 2 matches. So I mean, if they win one more, see, we have a very funny situation now. Yeah, we have a very funny situation there. I mean, you have 2 teams already in 14. And then you have 2 teams, 2 more teams who can at least get to 14.
Exactly.
KKR will only get to 14 if they win. Kings 11 can get to 16 if they win both. Right? SRH can get to 14 if they win both.
Sure.
RR can get to 14 if they win both. So the 14 seems to be a traffic jam. There is a traffic jam at 14. So we'll see how it eases out.
That is a silk smoke junction, if you will.
Yeah. I mean, see, it's not, and the board is not spelled BOARD, it is BORED now, I think. Really bored.
Board. Yeah.
So I think we'll drop it with that. And hope that CSK pulls off another one. I don't know who they are playing. It will be fun. Oh, but that is KXIP.
We discussed that.
Which is even more reason that KXIP should win today, so that we can support CSK next time.
I'm rooting for Punjab, man.
Yeah, well, it's okay. So for once, it'll be makke ki roti and sarson ka saag in Mala's household.
I love that.
I love that too, man.
Yeah,
I've always loved that. But then I am half Punjabi, no?
Yeah, I know.
So I'm not even half. I mean, like,
wait, just the Konda is missing.
That's all. Yeah, even the inside also, it's like, no, I didn't say that. Okay, Bala, thanks a lot. We'll see you tomorrow.